This is Joseph Finch, and I'm going to talk about the evolution of censorship in motion pictures.
The honor of the first censorship directed at motion picture in the United States was 1907, when Chicago created the nation's first local censorship law, after the Women Christian Temperance Union condemned the influence of movies and claimed that motion pictures were addictive. Soon after Chicago's brash decision, other cities and states created censorship laws of their own. This resulted in the nation having separate censorship boards with a kaleidoscope of rules and ideas about what should be censored. In 1909, the theaters in New York City closed down due to complaints from the public of indecent films being shown. In an attempt to get the support back from the public, the National Board of Censorship was created, and it was the first of its kind. The National Board of Censorship would ensure the public that movies fell in line with the Protestant beliefs that dominated the public during that time. In 1915, the Supreme Court decided that movies were not defined in the First Amendment, therefore would not receive the protection afforded under this amendment, and that local censorship boards should remain, and these boards had the ability to censor anything and everything they deemed fit to be restricted. Then by 1930, in order to gain confidence in the public and to continue with soft censorship methods and to keep the government from intervening in the filmmaking process, the Motion Picture Producers and Distributors of America, later
Changed to the Motion Pictures Association of America.
by Postmaster General William H. Hayes, was created and institutes the formula, and later the code to govern the making of talking and silent motion pictures, or what was more commonly known as the Hayes Code. These were strict guidelines in which should not be shown or to try to avoid showing in movies, known as the don'ts and be carefuls. How did the Hayes enforce these rules? Hayes had endorsement and compliance with all the major movie studios, which ensured all movies went through with these guidelines and required every movie to have a seal of approval from the Production Code Administration. And any movie that produced a movie without the seal would be subject to a $25,000 fine and revocation of all profits for showing the film, and
In any venue the MPAA
which
owned.
was all of them. Overall, the Hayes Code was to keep the government from stepping in, creating laws for the industry, and still a form of self-censorship, implemented by its own industry to keep the government from having its own national censorship board. Then a miracle happened. Yes, a movie called The Miracle by the Italian director Robert Rossellini. The film was heavily banned in the US and considered sacrilegious, but Rossellini fought hard to have his movie shown in the US uncensored. And with the Supreme Court case Joseph Bernstein Incorporated versus Wilson 343 US 495, the Supreme Court sided with him and stated that motion pictures fell under the protection of the First Amendment. However, this court ruling removed all the teeth from the Hayes Code. It didn't stop the local censorships. For instance, New York banned the French film La Ronde, but the court sided with the film, and this redefined what immoral meant, and that it needed to be sexually immoral. Ohio went to court over the banning of the movie M, which further changed how the Supreme Court defined what should and shouldn't be censored. Also, thanks to the consent decree, theaters were able to show independent and foreign films, and one brave independent movie maker under United Artists, director Otto Preminger, and directed The Blue Moon and refused to get a seal from the PCA, and because of the new censorship was viewed, broke everything and was able to make more money than a few years earlier. This loss of credibility, with the inability to enforce rules that the Hayes Code has shown, caused a slow decay of the Hayes Code. This decay of the Hayes Code continued till its absolute dissolve in 1968, when a film system that we still use today provides parents with information to determine if the film is appropriate or not for them and their children. And also, according to the Motion Picture Association, these film ratings are still determined under the Classifications and Ratings Administration, comprised of independent group of parents, still to this day.